I'm gonna unmute.
Okay. You ready? I'm ready.
Ready?
Yes. Good morning, and welcome to another beautiful Saturday here in on St. Croix, United States Virgin Islands. Let me tell y'all, we're a little late this morning, so I'm gonna just let Maxine go ahead. Then I'll come back and just greet you.
Good morning. Can you hear me okay? How are you
Great,
today?
Maxine. Go
Not too
ahead.
bad.
We
Okay,
miss
so
you,
you have to.
Maxine.
No, I miss you guys too. I miss you guys. I was out for a couple weeks, and I think about my Saturday morning market, and I miss you guys, showing you guys all the fresh produce that these farmers work so hard in bringing for us to eat and to slaughter down. So I'm glad to be back here on St. Croix this morning. You guys got a little taste of St. Thomas a couple Saturdays ago. And I missed St. John only because we come on so early. I did St. John, but we didn't have our event till about 9 o'clock that on August 1st. So I'm here this morning on St. Croix at the farmers market, and of course we're on Ag Fairgrounds. So I'm gonna go through right quick, and you can bless your eyes on some things that we have since we're a little limited for time. Number 8, I'm sorry, Nemi, Miss Cassius. I say, your number change. The number gonna change probably too. So let me go back to Nemi. And Miss Cassius. Guys, all right. So here at the market this morning, fresh, locally grown and born. As I could see, I'm staring at this watermelon here because the watermelon and the pineapple is one of my favorites. And as you can see, we got them fresh, local. Even though we had that rain and the drought, these farmers still have some food. So please come out and support. I hope you guys supported our farmers and vendors doing Farmers Market Week last week. I hope you did. If you haven't, still come on down and support our vendors and our farmers. There's breadfruit, plantain, macoba, papaya, cucumbers, collards, bok choy, bananas. You got green fig, you got finger rolls. And this morning I see sour orange. If you want some sour orange to make some juice, there's sour orange. There's also kale, eggplant, arugula, eggs. We have some duck eggs this morning. The duck eggs. Early bird catch the worm. Rosa, is this beats? We're live and direct. She didn't tell me she got beats, and she know I'm a crazy. But as you can see, these are fresh beets, guys. Fresh, locally grown, picked this morning by Rosa, guys. She has beets, and of course, there we go. We got one more left. The sweetest you can find on island, no other place here but the Saturday markets. Fresh, locally grown pineapple. All right, eggplants, lots and lots of eggplants. I see the dark purple one, the light purple ones, a lot of eggplants, different two varieties of eggplants today. Arugula, parsley, chives, tamarind, sugar apple. I would like to show you guys the jackfruit, of course. Jackfruit is doing so many good things right now. When you get them, you could cook them, eat them raw. A lot of good things with them as you bless your eyes here. We also have um cambran, sugar apple, star fruit. There's cassia already chopped and ready to go. Guava is in season. Kenip. We have coconuts. We have dry coconut water. There's avocado in season. Jackfruit, like I just showed you right there. I showed you the pineapple. We have green beans and bodi. Some people call it bodi, some people call the green beans, the long ones. Mami sapote, gooseberry, cocoa plum, basil, bargee, cocoa. If you're looking at to make the chocolate from fresh cocoa, to passion fruits, green peppers, ackee, your bush tea side. There's soursop, big thyme, holy basil, lemongrass. Don't forget your slips and seedlings. We encourage you to grow something, plant something. As you can see, this beautiful green right here. These are all herbs and parsley, thyme, chives. As you can see here, these are some bush tea, spinach, you name it. We got it. We even got decoration plants for your home, for your house, for outside and inside. We have those also. We also have fruit trees. We also have produce trees that we have here. We get a little tambran. little guava tree. You could get lime plants also. We have lime plants. So we encourage you to grow some, put some down. Your cane juice, you could get your cane juice straight. You could get cane juice mixed with chlorophyll. You could get it mixed with turmeric, ginger, lemon, my favorite. Then you could also get it mixed with coconut water mixed with your cane juice or just straight up cane juice. So try one. Don't forget our fish. We have pot fish today. No tuna today, but we have pot fish today. Also, don't forget my WIC recipients. Those pink coupons are out there, out there, out there, out. So please use those WIC coupons for my WIC recipients that receive WIC. You should have those coupons on hand right now. So now it's time to use them. Look for that yellow sign on the roadside. If you miss the markets, the road signs like Sager Farm on the main road. You have Maxwell Farm. You have farm. Just look for that yellow sign say WIC approved here and use those coupons, guys. Let's enjoy the local food at always. Of course, guys, our value added and our inside our marketing building, we have a lot of value added products: pepper sauce, coconut oil, pound seasoning, your sofrito, your tambambal, your gooseberry stew. We have African clothing, African jewelry. We have a lady in here now that sells Turkish towels. You can see those. I'll give you a quick glimpse on them, Turkish towels. And don't forget Mr. Burley in here with all his juices and all that good stuff. Ajamo has his baskets. You know, we look for these baskets that last forever. They can withstand everything. Our climate, these baskets work good, 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 good for our climate. If you're looking for some baskets. Turkish, if you're looking for the Turkish gowns, I got me one of these bags. It feels so good to cuddle up with it and the towels and things like that. So you can check out our Turkish new stuff inside of our building. Also, don't forget Beverly in here. She makes everything crochet. She say you name it, she could crochet it. So she has nice brooches, bags, purse. Just a bunch of lovely things in here Beverly makes. I saw a brooch this morning and say, okay, I know what I want, and I know what I want for Black History Month coming up, for the carnival season, I kind of madras and things. So I will leave you guys with that, and then I will let you bless your eyes on her. Nemi, I appreciate you each and every Saturday for what you do for us here at the
Have a
Department of
blessing.
Agriculture, and also what you do for these vendors and these farmers. And yeah, this is all the good
Max,
stuff.
Max, you could hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I just, next week, I just want to know, come back, let me know, if you can, how far agriculture is, the department with the direction as helping us to be able to start to feed ourselves, planting, the promotion of planting, different stuff. I don't know if the commissioner wants to come online, but when you give a man all the power to feed you, you give him power to starve you. So at some point,
Mhm.
I feel to make that shift to be able to feed ourselves. And that will help with the cost of products as well. But that's another story. Let me know
I'm
how we
with
can.
that 100%, Nemi. I'm with you 100%. And my commissioner, of course, we have a very good rapport, and that is very much needed. I will make that happen because he's the one that could give the public and give that information and give it correctly for what we have going on right now. I know we have some co-ops and some farming going on. I know there's some grants out right now to help these farmers on their farm, but he could get real in detail of what's going on, and we
So
need to know
definitely
how
get
we're
him
gonna
on your show.
sustain moving forward. So I'm gonna make that happen for you, Nemi. You know it
Thank you
rocks on
so
my
much.
body and soul. Yeah, we're
Don't
gonna make it
forget.
happen. Yeah,
Don't
yeah, yeah.
forget.
I ain't
Many
forgetting. You know, I like
no,
to
no,
eat,
no.
and I want to make sure this food is coming for us, and we growing it so we can have food to eat. I got my grandson coming, Nemi. We got a future out there, so we gotta make sure they eat. So, good question. I love you for that, and I'm gonna make it happen.
All right. And one thing, let me remind everyone, Nemi's on the ballot.
That part. That part. Keep that in your head. Keep that in your head. Means it ain't number 8 no more, but just his Nemi. We'll tell you the number coming down closer to November. For right now, just know Nemi all the way. From then till now. That's what I love about you, Nemi. Ain't just start now because you're running. Let them to
Thank
know it's been
you.
a long time. You for us. You for us. You for we. So yeah, big, 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 big ups to that. And definitely, guys, she about how we gonna eat. What we gonna eat? How we gonna survive? So we gotta make sure that happens, guys. Yes, yes. Appreciate that, Nemi. Thank you all the time, Miss Cassius. Love you always too for what you do. All that good stuff you guys do are awesome, John. You know, I want big up Summer too. As I see you, just want big up Summer for what she do too. She's
And
one
we are our field.
person. Yeah, yeah, big up Miss Sibley Brown. Big up when it comes to talking about these kind of thing here. Bigging up
Yeah.
our farmers and bigging them up because this is what we need and this is what we're gonna look forward for for many years to come is always about this food. So big ups to you guys. Thank you so much. Remember, guys, each and every Saturday on St. Croix, 4 o'clock in the AM to 2 o'clock in the PM, and on St. Thomas from 4 o'clock in the AM to 4 o'clock in the PM at Market Square. And then Bordeaux Market every second and every last Sunday of every month. You can catch them at Bordeaux Market with fresh, locally grown food. So remember, guys, eat local, eat fresh, support our vendors, our farmers out here, and let's get to be sustainable for the future and have this food coming continuously. So big up all the time. You guys have a blessed day. And again, Nemi, thank you for giving us this outlet.
All right, thank you. Now we
Right.
shifting. Let me just explain to y'all. Y'all know we've been on a pause for a cause, and the cause is election season. And we've been on this pause for a while now, but I'm planning to go back to the discussion on health, not next week. Next week, let me tell y'all something. When you promise the little ones anything, they do not forget. So my granddaughter just went to the fifth grade, and from last year, before school end, she was harassing me. Grandma, you're not gonna let me come on your show? So I tell her, when school start again, I'll allow you to come on and tell the audience about your first week. But let me tell her something. She only reminded me, Grandma, when am I coming on your show? School has begun. So she coming next week. But this morning in the studio, we're going to have discussion and actually lean on some wisdom. Wisdom coming from, a lot of people that believe they know, even though they have not experienced what they think they know. So this morning we have Senator James with us. Clap, clap. And Senator James, she does not have the opportunity anymore to speak from the outside and believe in what she knows it is. Nah, she's coming from a position now where we can learn from her experience, though our experience may not be exactly the same. I always feel you can learn from those who travel the path. Okay, so this morning, I am going to welcome Senator James into the studio, into mind, body, and soul. I'm looking because I don't see her. But Senator James, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Nemi. Good morning, Manuela. Morning, Virgin Islands. Morning, Crucians, of course. Happy to be here. I agree with you. I actually try to learn more from other people's experiences. There's some things you do want to experience for yourself because your experience may not be the same, right? But still, there are always in the military with lessons learned. And after something happens, you sit down and you look at it and you say, what lessons have I learned? Or have we learned, as a team? And so I've learned a lot of lessons.
Sometimes you thought it was going to be this way, and whoa, it's a whole different way.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the adjustment, and I try to tell people this all the time, it's difficult for an attorney to only have 5 minutes to speak and ask questions. It's very difficult. I tell people that that's just not what we do.
It's against your training.
Exactly, And so that was one of the difficult uh, experiences I had trying to adjust to it. And I still haven't adjusted to it, I'll be honest with you, because there are always questions that you want to you just want to continue until you get to the bottom of whatever it is. And even if you hope that your colleagues will maybe um, explore where you've gone, and some of them do, and I do too. Sometimes when another senator says something, I go, I want to follow up on that.
And there's nothing wrong with that. No.
Oh no, you should. You should. As a matter of fact, what's wrong is when you ask a question and you get an answer, and you should follow up. There are times when people will ask a question, and I'm always able to tell when the question isn't really coming from the senator themselves, or they have not, even if sometimes you get a question from a constituent, or just somebody who really just has an interest in a topic. But you have to ask yourself, why when I ask this question, and I get an answer, is that answer satisfactory, or is it going to take me, or should I ask something else? So sometimes you will hear a senator ask a question and the person answers, and they don't really answer. They don't. But the senator goes, "Oh, okay."
And to me, even though you want to answer a particular topic, the follow up is healthy, because at the end of the day, the entire body is trying to get an understanding of the testimony delivered.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. And so sometimes you just don't get the opportunity to ask the questions, and then I just say, okay, fine. I will have done my research, and know sometimes when the testifier is lying. As a rule, I do not like to.
How do you do that? How do you determine someone someone is lying without a lie detector?
Well, sometimes you don't well
Part
of the training of an attorney is you don't ask a question you don't know the answer to. That's another thing, right? Because think about it. You ask a question in court, and the answer is something that would just totally blow your case. So you need to know before what the answer is. So that's another thing that I have to adjust to.
Maurice, I don't want to cut you off. But
No,
hearing is like the idea of taking your training, who you are. All of us come in
Right.
here with a certain pedigree. Because when you said it's hard for a lawyer, I was like, it's harder for a teacher. I could only imagine, right? Because
I am a teacher also.
So you custom being a sage on a stage. You don't have that moment in the floor, right?
Yeah.
And then when I heard you talk about just now saying, I'm also an attorney, so I know you don't ask questions that you don't know the answer to. But in this job, you don't really know nothing in the context of
you
the
do.
field.
Let me tell you something.
You have to do your research.
There are some senators in the legislature who sometimes they will share with me that
the context of what's happening behind the scenes.
They know. They have relationships. The one thing that I didn't have was I didn't have the depth of relationships with government employees that some of the other senators have. But that was also an advantage.
But it could also be a disadvantage.
No, that's what it was a disadvantage for me sometimes not to have that.
No,
but it was an
disadvantage for them too.
I see what you're saying.
I think with you, I was able to see somebody coming with earnest curiosity. Right? And that's different when you're trying to get to the root of something.
Right.
You don't have you don't necessarily have people's tainted context of what's happening.
That's
So
true.
you
That's
have in
true.
front of you what should be happening. You
Right.
have the policy, you have
Right.
the research, you did your due diligence,
Yeah, yeah.
and you openly, curiously asking to get to a solution. You know, I saw you do
Yeah.
that with Williams Delight. Like I
Mhm,
saw
mhm.
you in active form coming in with a real curiosity.
Yeah, yeah,
Not
yeah.
no backstory of housing. You ain't got no backstory of
I never do though. That's a joke. I usually don't have the backstory. What I do have is what I've researched and known, for example, about if you use Williams Elite, the program, what the program is supposed to do, what the requirements are. I already know that. But I have always decided I am not the agency or department head. You are. So you need to provide that information to the public. Sometimes, you hear people come in and this is one of the things I am going to say. It's I never try to, and I hope I never do embarrass anyone when they're on the floor.
that
Because
speaks volume.
yeah, I just don't.
Because I think the goal is to try to find out what those individuals need to succeed
Exactly.
as a government agency or whatever, so that the people will feel the positive. But let me take this call.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning, Nemi.
Hi.
Good morning, Senator Morris
Good
J.
morning, morning.
Manuela.
Yes, good morning,
The
Mr.
last
News.
two names are special ring.
Yeah.
I noticed.
Don't feel low, Nemi. We still voting for Nemi.
I telling you.
Yes, I have collaborated with Senator James many times when she's on with Jamila.
Hmm.
I don't know. I wanted to ask her where she gets the state from to deal with Jamila.
You did not go there.
Oh, I will definitely answer that. He said, we're
Sometimes I can't Jamila got a subject I know you want to hear. And the way she roughs me up, like one time she hugged up, then that she puts that way.
Oh, that's what she do to you?
That's what she does to me all the time.
I'm going to tell you something. Jamila is one of the most brilliant persons I have met on the island of St. Croix.
And you took the word of my one brilliant day in the world.
My son, her knowledge of the legislature is unbelievable.
Oh boy.
I often, and I'm always grateful when of course, I'm going to be on her show after this, but I'm always grateful.
That's right, today. That's right.
Yeah, I'm always grateful for her advice. She does research like an attorney. She, oh my God, her research.
She's a researcher emeritus.
Yeah, but I think I am also good for Jamila.
Oh, right.
Right? You understand what I'm saying? Because sometimes she can be a little hot-headed. And the thing about her is that even when she's hot-headed and she just speaks, she just says it, she is such a good soul in the sense that she will come back and she will say, I apologize. Not that she didn't mean what she's saying, or because she didn't mean what she said, but she realizes that there's some things that are better left unsaid. Right? Yeah. So I want to say something about Nemi in regard to, because I was going to say it and I don't want to forget it.
Okay.
Yeah. When I proposed the government candidacy bill in my first term, Nemi was still working for the government. And one of the senators made an allegation that I was doing it only for Nemi, which I was like, which was not true. Which was not true. That was not true at all. It had actually come from a conversation that I had had with, at the time, Senator Diane Capehart, when she explained to me what she had gone through. So it didn't have anything to do with you. Nemi then retired from government. And so she didn't need the benefit of the government candidacy bill. But Nemi came and testified. That's very important for people to understand. Even though you were no longer going to receive the benefit of being in government, you came and you testified and supported my bill, knowing that it would help others. So I want to publicly thank you for that, because yeah, it's very important that people understand that we don't do things for ourselves, we do things for all of us, right? And so, Nemi, I want to thank you for that.
Thank you. I'm still waiting, and I pray to God before December that your other colleagues, hello, find it in their heart to know that we really need to give the younger generation an opportunity to serve at a higher level.
Exactly. And
let me go by saying this, and this is why when Senator Jane decided not to run again, she wanted to come and put Senator a jag,
yes, right.
And then a senator, what she want to stop for, Tony? But then when she explained what it is and what she's doing actually is teaching elections 101 to me.
That's true. I like that. Thank you. I like that.
Yes. Anyway, I'll talk to you later on when you jam along. Okay.
And don't be too frightened. Okay, you too. All right, have a good day. All right. Every other biannually, you should have election 101. Biannually, keeps you involved.
Yeah. Well, I this is the next chapter of my life that I am going to be embarking on. God willing. I have a number of creative things that I intend to do with my children. But I intend to still practice law in some capacity. I still intend to do work for the people of the Virgin Islands. I haven't decided yet exactly how that's going to pan out. But I definitely have some things that I have to do for St. Croix. And that's about all I could say about that, because some things you have to keep close to your heart and your mind and your soul. But I truly believe that the best is yet to come.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I don't intentionally want to shift, but at times I just have to discuss, and especially if it's in my area. I am very concerned with the first week of school having so many challenges relative to our children, not being able to exhibit good social skills. And I will continue to say that math, science, social study, and English is important for teaching individuals, human beings, how to live right. Is just as important. And health education needs to be a part of our school system. Not only that, ISS need to be an intentional part. Sending children home is outdated.
Yeah, it is.
Those children are happy to go home, be on the Netflix,
that's true.
I mean, yes, we need to change. So, I am prepared to convince my colleague, if the Board of Education does not move on it, to remove, at least for a start, in out of school suspension for the elementary level. We have to help change behaviors in our children. And I don't think we're doing a good job with that. These children are challenged with technology and not being able to exhibit good social skills. My God, look at the amount of crime we have. And now with the children,
Yeah, yeah.
it's just disturbing. And I just wanted to say that.
I believe that we addressed it, in the 35th. But here I go again. I would need somebody like Jamila to remind me.
Yeah.
But I remember Donna Fred Gregory bringing a bill
What did it say?
to again prohibit suspensions. But I will have to look that up.
I'm
And I can't
going to
remember
look
if we
it up.
passed or passed it. But I
Because I'm on the
remember,
board, I just want to be full
yeah,
disclosure.
yeah,
There is a code of conduct inside of the board policy for the discipline policy, right?
Yeah.
Like everything is tiered. So what you're saying about legislating the idea of people being suspended in elementary, go back to the tier system of how conduct is geared.
And I am
the
well
things
aware of that.
are for suspension
right.
are not things that are necessarily occurring in elementary school, okay, right? Because your fighting is not suspension, out of school suspension automatically, unless it's fighting with a weapon, or like
Right,
fighting,
with a
like
weapon, right.
there's
Manuela.
tiers to it. So I'm just saying,
What is
when
on
it
the
comes
book
to-
and what happens is
But
two
Ted,
different things.
that's
And
the
what
same
I'm
thing with
telling
the
you,
law.
wait, in school suspension is not in that disciplinary
no, we
scale.
have restorative justice inside of
Yes,
the
right,
discipline
right.
policy.
Right.
This is not just about in-school suspension. There are things that's happening, and I agree. What's on the books is not being followed. And so, but where do we do that? We don't legislate behavior.
No,
What we do is encourage
true.
behavior through different ways.
You
And
know-
that's why
you don't legislate behaviors, but some things that you don't want to legislate have to be legislated because it's about culture change.
how do you
It's
enforce
about
it then?
behavioral change.
Legislating it is like a
Have
policy. We have a policy. It's written. The board's policy is there and clear. But does
And it
that
needs
mean
to
it's being
adjust.
implemented by the
And,
department?
and let me ask you, and
That's true, that's
it needs to adjust. It needs to adjust because if you have policy on the book and it's not working, because it's not being implemented. If it was working, it would be implemented. So it's not working. You need to find out why it's not being implemented by those who are tasked
We've
with
had
implementation. But so
we have had testimony.
if like for instance physical education should be every child should get physical education every Monday through Friday, 7th and 8th grade. That's the only grades physical education is ought to give to the child every day. It doesn't happen. They're already getting it in elementary. High school, they're only getting it for half a year.
Tell me about that. I didn't know that.
Like
They
every other day.
in elementary it's what,
Once a week,
it's once a week.
sometimes twice if you're lucky.
Wow.
And
Physical and not realizing motor skill is so important
Right.
in your adult life.
Right.
So here we are, not even encouraging that. And I'm just saying we need to have intentional reform with our educational system.
I 100%
think he's
agree.
there.
I just want
Let's
to know
go ahead.
that that's in the commissioner's line. Like that's where the department is. And our role from outside as a legislature, as a board, is to encourage and push and enforce these policies.
That's true.
And enforcement, we just saw it last week where decisions
What
were
happens if
made.
it's not enforced? Oh my God,
That's the part you legislate then. Give us the right to arrest them. Give us the right to defund them. Right? Like seriously, tell the Board of Education you will hold all federal funds hostage. You have the right to hold it hostage.
We don't need to hold. We don't need to hold federal
we
funds
need-
hostage
we
because we
need-
don't spend it.
But you understand what I'm saying? Like if we're gonna talk about the way to enforce things, then we
Okay.
gotta go
Let's
serious.
go to a break. We'll be right back. Love the discussion.
Your continuous music variety. AM 9.
a.m. to Mind, Body, and Soul, where you can join me with discussions on healthy living. Listen, the time that goes so fast.
Oh, wow.
When you're having fun. I cannot believe we are 14 minutes. Yes.
Yeah.
So, we're going to shift back, to Maurice, I want to ask questions relative to that. And Emanuela, we're going to be talking about
We'll
it. We
talk
have a
after,
lot
we
of
know.
time.
This is
I
our
want-
sport time
But I
after.
want to take advantage of having the senator here
Mhm.
because, let me just ask you, when going in, you knew that the Mason rules were to be followed. Is that something like individuals really know and start off running when they get in? And what advice you would give to a new person like myself, being elected in November, and that window between November and swearing in? What actions should really happen?
Well, usually there are a number of sessions or orientations planned by the legislature. So I must say that they do an excellent job of making sure that you know. Usually they use John Abramson, that's my classmate, because he is, of course, a parliamentarian, and he would come and do a really great session on parliamentary rules, Robert's Rules of Order, Masons. They give you the Masons manual.
So you still have some Robert's Rule incorporated.
Some of it is, and then too. Remember now what happens right after. I will say this: I did not take advantage of any of that when I was elected in November 2022 to January, because I was very, very engaged in my private practice, and so looking back, I would have tried to attend NCSL, which is the State Legislative Council. They'd also reach out to you and they give you some, like webinars to help you. That happened too, if I remember correctly. But the legislature does a really great job. They all the different sections of the legislature, the legal counsel's office, the journal, the executive director does present the business office. You have to remember there are all these different components of the legislature that do a great job. I must say that of letting you know what to expect.
Is it mandatory or is just there and you go if you wish?
If you have the time. I just didn't have the time, I remember. Well, you know what I did the second time around? I actually attended a lot of the ones that just to refresh myself. And also, when you have, I had a great both times, I had a great chief of staff in Glory V. Kriga, because remember, she had been in the legislature before with Senator Kurt VLA. And one of the things that she did for me that I will always be grateful was I had come in with a lot of legislation that while I was running, my mind was just, and it still does, I have a whole lot. And when I first came on board, she said to me, Senator, any question? I said to her, well, I have this legislation, and she said, you need to put it in right away because of the preemption rule. And I was like, preemption rule? And she was like, yeah, if you don't put it in, then someone else can take that topic. And you would then be preempted, meaning that, for example, there are people who would preempt me on, let's say, the racetrack or tiny homes. I could think of some of the things, some because the legal counsel will send you a letter saying you're preempted by so and so.
How long?
How
long they can have it?
Well, remember, it's the rules that's what I was going to say to you. The day after election, what happens is you will be contacted by the winners, right? Because the winners have to organize and they have to decide whether you're in a majority or the minority.
Yeah, but
and so you develop.
I don't want you stray off of that topic.
Yeah.
How long can a senator have a legislature?
A bill?
Piece of legislation there that that they preempt you on and you cannot touch? Is it forever?
No. But it depends on
As
the
long as you
rules
in.
of the legislative, the
Oh,
majority
body.
caucus.
Oh.
They establish.
Okay,
That's
so
what I'm
the
saying.
36, so
So the
36 rule?
36 might be different from the 35th,
Okay.
the 37th.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
And
you get to be a part
so
of making those rules?
yeah,
Okay.
I'm in a majority caucus
Okay.
both times.
Mhm.
And so I'm trying to remember. I held on to all my legislation because the minute that I came in, and I was again fortunate because now I have Sonia Andrew. She has again 2 years of experience. And so she knew, let's put everything back in, because or they had sent us a notice from the legal counsel's office saying, you have to let us know. We have to let them know if you intend to move forward with this legislation. You have a certain period of time in which to let them know. If you don't let them know, then you lose it. It's then available to the universe. The universe meaning out of 14 senators,
But
right?
if you let them know, is the rule normally 2 years? You could have it there hanging.
No, you're always working on it. Remember now, during the time that you get legislation, and Jamila will tell you, I take a long time to work on my legislation. Again, that's a function of being a lawyer. You're always working on it, and you have legal counsel assigned. Now, even though I am an attorney, I actually have on contract lawyers because I want to know. The lawyer I have on board, right, is not for my legislation. It's to review everybody else's legislation and give me a legal analysis of it, because I happen to love writing my own
And that's something
legislation.
your office has.
So I have a lawyer on board that two lawyers that actually look at my. So when I come to that's why I said when I come to a meeting or a session, I already know whether or not this bill is constitutional, if it makes sense, what the public opinion is on it. Because I developed when I was going in a legal what I call bill analysis, and I wrote exactly like I can share that with you. I shared it with Senator Frederick when he came in. I don't know if he ever used it, but I use it extensively because I will then read it before any questions that they have. I have a great researcher now, Joel Marcado, and what he does is he develops questions for me. He looks at the testimony because it's a lot of reading.
No, and I'm
And-
happy you're sharing that because I was like, how do you function getting prepared and still moving on to do your job?
People have no idea how much work
To be
goes
effective.
into being a senator. I really get frustrated. I'm leaving, right? But I get frustrated and when people who don't know, they don't know. And so I said they don't know.
Mhm.
They just don't know how much work it takes to produce great work, right? Quality. Let's use the word quality work. So they think it's easy, and it's not. Not at all. It's not easy. It's not an easy job because then you have some of the things. I'll give you a little joke that for me that was like, what the hell? In my first 3 months, man, I get this letter from a church telling me that they're renovating the church and they need me to buy several cases of tiles. And I said to Glory V, I said, what the hell? Why? What expect they are they serious? And then I said to some senators, what's going on here? And they said, expected for the entire 2 years. Now, this is what I want to say to the people at St. Croix, St. Anna, St. John. When you're paying a senator $85,000 a year, and then every 2 weeks or every week you get letters for donations from every single school you could think of, every church you can think of, every individual you can think of. Every time there is a event, they want you to sponsor, they want you to show up. And I wonder, do they ask commissioners? Commissioners are paid 35. Some executives are paid 175, 300,000, and then they get vexed with us as senators, and I am like, no. So I had to begin to really put together some really nice sentences, basically that says, you know, I donate to the causes that are very important to me. My senators are not provided an allowance to give contributions.
That is so important.
I don't know if people
State,
think they do.
because
Um,
because they may have the perception out there
Yeah.
that you're given a certain amount of your budget
No, you're not.
to help.
You're not. Your senators don't get cell phones. They don't. They don't get cars. They don't get sick leave. They don't get annual leave. People do not realize the. So I have a lot of respect for anyone who served in the Senate, to be honest with you, because I will take my hat off to them. And you know, they don't come and tell people these things. But since I know election 101, I am also letting people know, don't be jumping on senators for things they're not responsible for, and then don't ask that, don't expect blood out a stone. Okay, my grandmother used to say that you can't expect blood out a stone.
I don't want this show to end without you saying one most important thing.
Uh-huh.
You talked about the idea of creating it, making sure you're not preempted. How do you get it on the floor for discussion? Because there's a lot of bills that never see the daylight
Oh, they
on
never
the floor.
do. They never do.
Never see the daylight of the committee. So
Yeah.
if you're the chair, okay, you get to pick it up and go with it, right? Because you're the chair of that committee, so you lead the direction of the committee. How do you get the other committee? If I have an idea about education, but
Oh.
I only sit on there, or maybe I don't even sit on there. I have to convince the committee who sits on there.
Of course, I
How
had
do we
to
do that?
do it. I had to do it with
Mhm.
government candidacy. I was not right. Well, first of all, you do a bill request, and then it goes in. The legal counsel lets you know whether you're preempted or not, and then you begin. Legislature has 8 legal counsel,
Mhm.
who draft bills.
I mean,
And so
but they okay.
go ahead.
I coming from, I work as a union representative for federal
Mhm.
and the local government. And when you start a case, the foundation of a case is important. And I was always at that level.
Right.
Do you? So I know me. I know what I want. I know I'm not. I have a hard time like giving Mary the work to reflect me. So is it a bad thing to try to at least craft your legislation? Or
Again too. I mean, that's a skill I had. So obviously I would do it all the time. I love words. I love putting words together. And so some senators, you have to be clear about the intent of your bill, because you need to make sure that if a court down the road has to look at your legislation, they understand the intent behind the legislation. So you try to communicate to the legal counsel's office and you work closely with them. For me, when I work with them, it was after they've already gotten a bill that I drafted, but they then give me really great. They review it. They give me comments. Senator James, change this, change that. I have a great relationship with them. But for senators who are not lawyers, a lot of times, like one of the things that Nova Francis said when we first in the 35th, he said, if you don't have a lawyer on board on a contract, which most people don't, but he did, he said you should, because you need someone to look and help you. First of all, meet with them so that they know your intent. You don't spend as much time with a legal counsel as you should. So it then goes to it's pro forma, and then it goes to the committee of jurisdiction. And then it goes from the committee. If it passes, it then goes to the rules committee, and then it goes to the session.
Okay, and let me just hold you up.
Yeah, we got time.
So I'm gonna allow you, because Jennifer is already here. I'm gonna allow you to close out, a take, that you would like the audience to go with today. Could be based on your discussion, anything that you want us to remember from our discussion, or just remember.
Well, I just want to say to anyone who's putting themselves out to serve in government, It is a sacrifice, but we need people in government at every level. Um, I do not regret going into the Senate. I think that I know I've made a meaningful difference in the lives of people. And it's just for me, it was going in, doing what I was supposed to do, and then deciding that it's time for me to move on.
But I have
And thanks to everybody who supported me during this journey that I've had.
before I allow Manuela to briefly close, just a yes or no. You believe it's time to restructure our government?
Oh, I've always believed that. Definitely.
I will close on that mark. Change is always necessary, like systems grow and systems die. Thank you, Virgin Islands, for always listening to Mind, Body, and Soul with Nemi. And vote for Nemi this year. And Senator James, thank you so much for serving us and serving us with like really good integrity and representation.
Thank you.
See you.
I appreciate that.
Thank
you. Thank you.
Ditto. See y'all next Saturday.
We're talking, we'll hear all your favorite songs and
I don't know. Hold on. Let me end this.
Giving you more music variety. This